What's up, guys? This is Roman of the Real Cinema Squad, and I'm here to talk to you about The Bikeriders. This movie, starring Jodie Comer, Tom Hardy, and Austin Butler, is about a fictional motorcycle gang known as the Vandals, which is based on the real motorcycle gang known as the Outlaws that was founded in the 1960s. This movie was adapted from a book of photographs by photojournalist Danny Lyon, where he followed the outlaws around and took pictures of them. So while this movie is not based on a true story or about the real lives of these people, it is inspired by the people, but no real names are used. The story's made up as far as I know. And this was a very interesting movie. Jodie Comer is the star of this movie. Marketing would lead you to believe that Tom Hardy and Austin Butler are the stars of this movie, and they are two of the stars of this movie. But as the poster would tell you and the movie pages would tell you, Jodie Comer gets first billing because this movie is told from her perspective. The story of the Vandals is told from her character Kathy's perspective because Kathy was married to the second in command of the Vandals, Benny Cross, played by Austin Butler. And all three main actors were fantastic in this movie. Austin Butler, who I heard recently compared to this as this generation's James Dean, which makes a lot of sense to me because he ever since playing Elvis, he seems to be the epitome of cool. He was a fixture in this film. Although the funny thing about it is that back in 2017 when the Jason Bourne movie came out, there was a lot said about the fact that throughout the whole movie, Matt Damon as Jason Bourne only had 25 lines of dialogue. And while I didn't count, I would be surprised if Austin Butler reached 25 lines of dialogue. He didn't say much, which increased the mythos of his coolness even more. Tom Hardy was great as the leader of the Vandals, Johnny. Let's say that the ending of this movie was not surprising, but the real revelation in this film was Jodie Comer. If you followed her career in the last few years, she was in a popular show known as Killing Eve. She was in Free Guy with Ryan Reynolds. She was in The Last Duel with Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. She is a rising star as well as Austin Butler that we don't talk about enough. She's great with accents. She's great with facial expressions. I was watching Killing Eve the other night, and just some of the looks that she was giving other characters were absolutely haunting. And she told a story during the interview process for this film that they had audio recordings of the real Kathy for her to listen to because Danny Lyon had also recorded several interviews over the period of about 10 years that he was chronicling this motorcycle gang, that the real life Kathy was born and raised in Chicago, but that her accent wasn't pure Chicago and it was kind of all over the place. And if there was anyone that could capture it, it's Jodie Comer, and she did it really well. I found myself really honed in whenever she would start delivering dialogue because it was so interesting, and she really stole the movie for me. I know that's funny considering that she was the actual star of this film, but she was great in this movie. Mike Feist, who's another rising star, played the role of Danny Lyon, the reporter. He was in the original Broadway cast of Dear Evan Hansen. He played Riff in the West Side Story remake. He is one of the stars of the other film of the summer, The Challengers, with Zendaya. He's a rising star as well. He had a part in this and was really, really good. Michael Shannon and Norman Reedus also make appearances in this film. It's a crime drama. It's not an action movie. If you're going in thinking you're going to have a lot of high octane motorcycle riding and action and fights, you're just not going to. There are a couple of fights in this, but not. If you're going in thinking that it's, something like Top Gun on motorcycles, you will be disappointed with this film. It's a little artsier. It's not a very fast story, but I would recommend this movie for anyone that likes Austin Butler or Tom Hardy or likes period pieces as much as I do. This was set in the 60s and 70s which is when the real life Outlaws were popular. If this sounds like your kind of movie, it kind of chronicled the Vandals' journey from just a group of guys that like riding motorcycles to an actual gang. And things got hairy at the end, and as I said, the conclusion was not totally unexpected. So it is a little bit darker, a little bit slower. If this sounds like your kind of film, I highly recommend it. The Bikeriders in theaters now, starring Tom Hardy, Austin Butler, and Jodie Comer, all three of whom deliver powerhouse performances. Do us a favor, like and subscribe on the channel for more content and movie reviews like this. Let us know in the comments either what you thought of the Bikeriders or what you want to hear us review next. I am Roman of the Real Cinema Squad, and we'll see you on the next video.